Hare Krishna. According to Bhagavatam, human body is very rare to achieve. After going through millions of birth in different species, one gets a human body, and in that human birth, if he does not do devotion to Lord Krishna, then it is said that the chance of being a human again is lost. He'll have to go around in different species, and there are 84 million, like that, 84 lakhs of species to in total, or 8.4 million. So this is this is there in Srimad Bhagavatam, and um, the different categories and the number of species are mentioned there. 9 lakhs are waterborne. Then trees and plants, that is the immovable, they make a number of 20 lakhs. Microbes, insects, reptiles, they make a number of 11 lakhs. Birds, they make a number of 10 lakhs. Animals, the four-legged animals, it is in total 30 lakhs. And the humans are 4 lakhs. So such a rare. There are just 4 lakh species of human. And imagine in those 4 lakh, how many species of human, how many are devotees? Very few. So one has to be very careful in using the every moment of the human life and not spend it in sense gratification, because animals do sense gratification. Human beings do not do so much as in case of animals, and their category is defined as that. So those who are into sense gratification and they take to that sense gratification all the time, such people, they cannot come to the God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Their tendency will degrade with period, and they will come back again and again to this material world in any body but human body. So they'll be born as insects, animals, or aquatic animals, or the wild animals in the forest. So such is this material world, where only people of good conduct, who are gentlemen, who are practicing devotion to Krishna, are honored, and they make their life successful, and tell others about how important it is to stick to the devotional service, because that understanding devotional service itself is very rare. Not everybody would get to know what is the path to spiritual, so it is very important, um, and it is a very rare chance. Even now, so many are doing according to Prabhupada's books. They are reading books. They are doing, but how many of them are actually serving their guru? So that is also very much questionable, because it is so rare. It's about being so rare. So how to go and advance in that path is completely depending on us. The way we approach, the way we get serious with it is very important. And there are so many troubles, the problems that come along with, and they are really very scary. You feel at one time that altogether it has gone, at another time you feel that yes, I can do, but then again you feel that you're completely materialistic. So such ups and downs are going on, and we still have some help in the form of Bhagavad Gita's shlokas, and they come to help uh, at such times. And if we are reading regularly, then we are saved. Otherwise, we'll get carried away by this illusory sense of checks, and get try to get sense gratification from anything and everything, all in ignorance. So that's not a human being that he is born for. Human being is not born for conducting himself in the mode of ignorance. He has to rise above and be in the mode of goodness. So that is about the rarity of human birth. And again, if you have a human birth, having a good association is very important for progress in devotion. And even if you have good association, there is your own individual contribution. How much are you anxious and willing to sacrifice and help others and grow? So that again is again very rare. And even if you get all this, then like this, there are gradations and levels. So how rare is this devotional path? It cannot be, and one cannot fathom the fortune of anyone who has taken to this Krishna consciousness, and he is fully dedicated to it and trying to serve to the best of his ability. And this is required. The human birth will not be granted again. Once the time is over, time is up, you will have to just forcibly accept something that comes your way, and you'll be forcibly dragged by your karmas. You have no choice. But when you're in the human birth, you have a choice whether or not to go with certain thing. When your consciousness pricks you and tells this is wrong and you must not do it, then why are you doing it? So, such things in this way are in Bhagavad Gita. Arjun is being instructed by Lord Krishna that when he tells that the mind is too fickle all the time and it's very difficult to control the mind. So, Lord Krishna agrees to it. First of all, he doesn't deny it. He says yes, it is, but he's then gives him an instruction because um, Arjun has accepted Krishna as his master. So Krishna tells Arjun that with efforts like abhyas and vairagya. So what is abhyas? Trying again and again to what? To bring mind to the lotus feet of Krishna in devotional service. And vairagya means using only things that are helpful in the devotional service and not taking anything that is taking you away from the devotional service. So try and be taking only the favorable things, avoiding the unfavorable ones. Just taking favorable things but not avoiding the unfavorable ones is not the way. If you take favorable ones, you must also take care to avoid the unfavorable ones. So this is Vairagya, that is Yukta Vairagya for devotees. So Abhyas is trying again and again to follow the instruction. So we all that we can do is just try because we have never done such things in the past. That is why it seems little difficult. And but this is not of the material world. What we are doing is of the spiritual world, where there is not much opposition. In material world, at least if you start something, then there's no guarantee of success. There is so much opposition to it. But when you are following the instructions told to you by the spiritual master, and simple instructions like the regulative principle, 16 rounds, and then avoiding offenses, the 10 offenses. So these instructions are pretty simple. Just that if something comes to your mind and it is against these things, you just stop it and try to follow. It's that simple. We make it complex by look into it in a different way. If we look at it in a simple way, things are really simple. There are so many things bothering you at all times, and these things are unnecessary, unrequired of. Did you want them in the first place? No. If you didn't want, then why are these things bothering you, and why are you carried away by their influence, the strength of it or the weakness of it, and then getting happy or or sad? So these things must be understood intelligently and with intelligence, and you should know that once the chance is gone, means gone, and nobody actually belongs. You do not have any affair with any of the people on this earth. Your immediate family is also not much concerned when it comes to devotional service. You talk to them as much as required, and it is hardly more than 5 minutes in the whole day. So, suppose you are living with your parents, then you don't need to interact with them more than 5 minutes. It is the fact. You have your own job. They have their own things to do, and their field of interest may or may not be the same, or it may be different. So why are we not able to devote completely? Because we let our mind go here and there. That is a plain reason. If we accept this, that we are the ones who grant our mind to let go in any direction, every direction, and do anything and everything that it wants to, then once we accept, then we should be serious about how what will happen if we don't follow it properly and such things. So you have to think deeply if what will happen if we let the mind go here and there and do things of interest. So let the mind go here and there, but in the conscious time throughout the day, you be doing some devotional service. Be engaged in the devotional service all the time. That is the only way to save yourself. And when it looks difficult, and then the thing comes to the mind that now nothing is going to happen, I must leave it. That time you can try to explain your mind that if things are difficult now and I must give up, the mind is saying, then what will it do? It will go to that 84 lakh species. It must revolve in those 84 lakh species, and then again someday you'll get human birth. And then Prabhupada, like Acharya, will not be there to explain you. You'll get human birth, but there's such a Acharya books will not be there, nor his lectures, nor his sadhus will be there, nor his Vaishnavas will be there. Then who will explain you this? And the need to stay in it a whole day, day by day, and devote and dedicate and ultimately just be doing this all the time, who will impress on your mind that it is so essential that you devote 24 by 7 only to this devotional service. It is that important. Who will explain you? Because all over people are only into, they want to lead a simple life. They say we lead a simple life, and what are they doing? That just that khana pina, you know, all that things. And they say we are super busy. But um, if one understands and if has understood, and if he is not trying enough, then he should try enough and understand the importance of time in hand. Because time once gone never comes back, they say. And then when this is so scary, when you understand the importance, and you must school your mind like that. Otherwise, if you lose the knowledge, then that is the reason it causes a forgetfulness of your current existence, what you are. So this is very important, and hence, if you feel any time that it is very difficult and now I must give up, and some your mind is such an enemy. Mind is the worst enemy, mind is the friend. So the enemy, what it instructs, just give up. And you are weak there, and you say, okay, yes, yeah, it may be right, I should give up. And at that very time Maya attacks you and then destroys all your devotional attempts. You feel like each time you're starting from scratch, not a continuity is there. So, in order to have this continuity, you can plan out for your own. For this continuity, you must plan out on your own. And it is very important to keep going. And one day, then someday, you must see a change. Until then, you must go on and do not give up in any moment, because if you give up, you'll go to sense gratification and ultimately degrade to animalistic behaviors, which is not desirable for one who is understood the importance of human birth. So, in the back of the mind, we do not know what is happening, and we do not know who has grabbed our mind. But from on the conscious level, we can have an idea that something is seriously wrong. Such at such times, then it is important that you take up a book, read loudly, read for hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and by the strength of that, this other guy, the mind, enemy mind, which was trying to be strong, using your own power, will lose its grip over you. So this is the way to tackle. These things will keep coming. They'll not ever stop. So our duty is to understand the situation and not given. And this is the way to, defeat the enemy mind. Otherwise, the mind, well, if it takes over, it will make you listen to its demands. And what is it making you listen to? It is making you listen to the senses which are imperfect. So whatever the senses tell the mind listens. So the senses, how do you understand? You see, you hear, you speak. So somebody speaks into your ears. Yes, this life is for sense gratification, and you give a yes. Your intelligence is corrupted now. Where is the intelligence gone? Because you succumb to the weaknesses. You have succumbed to the enemy mind. So it is listening to the enemy mind, and the enemy mind is instructing only in sense gratification, and anything towards devotional service, it will ask you to stop it immediately. So the next moment you feel like stopping the chanting, or you are not feel able to finish the chanting, or if you are not able to increase the quantity, or you don't feel like being humble, and with your ego and pride you try to overpower and pull down the other person in front of you or other devotees, then you should know that just 16 rounds is not helpful. This 16 rounds plus throughout the day, you have to remind yourself that, well, I have to also look at this side. There's a provocation, and then I succumb to it, and I do as per the mind dictates, and it is the enemy mind. Who are you listening to at that time? It is not guru there at all, nor any devotee or anybody. So you are in the complete demoniac control. The mind is listening to the demons. So this is very important. Just doing 16 rounds in the morning and the whole day you are careless is not right. The whole day you have to be alert. Who are you listening to? What are you hearing throughout the day? And why? So this way you'll be saved from all sort of troubles and the tendency that nothing will happen, I must give up. Nothing is happening. No one is bothered. So such the negative messages to yourself must end and they must stop. So, and it is important. You do yourself whatever is required and that see the difference. And even if you don't see the difference, you have done something, go on doing that, because such things require a lot of patience to to fall into a smooth cycle where every day you feel that yes, you're progressing. If when that feeling comes, yes, you're progressing, then you are excited and motivated to do more and more. But if every day you have a feeling that today again the same shit, again I am troubled, I must give up, there's a lot of it is a very difficult thing, nothing will happen. So these are not, this is not the way. And it is difficult because we have not done any time in the past. So anything that you take in the first place needs a related practice. So sit at one place and practice it, and this is the way to go ahead. It doesn't happen overnight. In one instance, if somebody in somebody's life it is happening, then they have also practiced and they'll need to practice more, because time is favorable for them at one point, but next time if the time is different, then they'll have to put in more efforts and go ahead. So this is the case with each and every one, and hence we must be very careful to maintain our own interest, because we had been doing so. But because of such things, if your interest is diminishes and it becomes negligible, then it is time to check back on what you want to do actually in the human birth. So you should say, "Am I serving Krishna?" Is the question we ask. But am I serving means it is a very deep thing. It is not so easy. Serving means there has to be service. just serving. We feel we are serving, but it is not service many times. So, am I really serving Krishna? So, when you feel that, then the help must come. Then Krishna must help you to progress and accordingly find some nice association. But if it is not happening, then something is wrong on your side, and you must work to rectify it. It is required. Do not stay like that for longer time. Yes, but the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra must regularly must happen. Do not give up that. Without that, there is nothing the whole day that you could do worthwhile. That is the only one thing worthwhile you did early in the morning. Then the whole day, what you will do, you will just think about anything, move here about in the living room, then go into the garden, then step down, go to the your front door, they check the hall, then the your whatever. If you are working home, the office room, then you will just go here and there, go in the kitchen, move around, see what is lying where, and just the time will just go like that the whole day. This is the fact. So sooner you realize, the better it is, and every day you can revise it. That why I am falling into such patterns of thinking which are not helpful to me at all. So this is all about the thing. And then if the mind is not, if the mind is adamant and not listening, then you have to scare it a little bit. So 84 lakh species is there. Do you want to go there, or do you want to do devotional service in this human birth? The it is isn't it? It's so worthless and futile. If human birth, you have understood that chanting is the only thing, devotional service is the thing, and if you don't do that, you'll go in the reverse direction. You'll have to keep revolving in those animal species. And when someday something strikes and there is a mercy, then you will get a human birth. Now, why in this human birth you cannot become a devotee? So, that is the way to think. Because progressive thinking leads to the progressive thinking is always desirable, and that leads to progress. So now, if things are not happening, then when will it happen? So, and if it doesn't happen, what will happen? So that should make you, that should, inspire you to understand that how important is association. Association is very important. If you have some nice person, go ahead with him. Otherwise, it's if you do alone also, then also it is okay. Preferring a living alone is not good, but if there is no association, you must go alone and do it. Do not give any excuse because time is very short. Human birth is really very short. If you feel that no, a human birth, now I am so and so, after I still have a life of 40 years. But it is not so. You can live 40 years and not a single minute will be for a devotional service, and you may continue thinking you're a devotee. This factor of life is the thing that you need to understand. If you say now I have more 40 years to live and I can do a lot of devotion, but if you analyze the case study, if you see, even if you do devotion but then you do offenses, then this is minus, it is gone, it is completely wiped out, and then you're back to pavilion. You will wonder what is God, what is Krishna, what is Hinduism, and all such things. So it is very important. So if you say my life is 40 years, then you cannot rely even the next minute is yours or not. It is the fact. How can you say my life is 40 years again, but even the next moment is not mine? I am surrendering to some places each moment. So then, what is your life all about? So even if you have age and you are proud of it, that I'm just young now and there is whole life ahead of me, and I can do a lot of devotion in this life only. I will get through the Maya. So it is not the way. I'm speaking now. Talking this, recording this, but next moment I do not know what will happen. and the next moment should be mine, and it will be yours only if you follow the instruction and be in the devotional mood. But if you do any of this, no, काम करो the loba Muhammad Acharya, means think anything other than devotion or do some sense gratification, then it is highly possible that the whole day will go waste. So, like this, our day after day is wasted and we are suffering like this. So, the better we realize it and take care. Hari Bol.